All set? Awesome. I'll edit this part out. Well, John, it's good to have you back at Eve Energy for a day of training. True to form, we've got a large group of people coming.
Good. Good to be.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you. So this is a really cool unit. We both have first-hand experience with this. So this is the Enertech air-to-water unit. The outdoor unit was a co-development project with NEBA, which is their parent company. And if anything, it should instill added confidence, I think, because NEBA is a major player, as we both know, in air-to-water heat pumps and heat pumps in general in Europe. What do you like about this outdoor unit?
I have experienced this running. It's extremely quiet, probably the quietest heat pump I've ever heard outside. I especially like this fan shroud.
Yeah.
You've got a large coil in the back here, which would be the evaporator in heating mode, and you can see a single variable speed fan out front here. So they've done a really good job of handling the airflow side of the heat pump, keeping it quiet, but still getting good airflow across it. And I also like the way that they have put the balance of the refrigeration system down in this corner. You can see everything's accessible. There's a variable speed drive. There's a digital strobe compressor here. In the back there's a reversing valve. There's a subcooler that enables us to operate at sub 0 degree Fahrenheit temperatures. I've got a nice big brace plate heat exchanger over on the back here. So yeah, it's a well-designed product, and it performs well in the installation we've got it in.
Yeah, I like this unit because obviously it's a cold climate air-to-water heat pump, so it works great in Canada or anywhere, and it's cold in the United States as well. I like this shroud design on the coil because they only have that one fan. This shroud that they've made of this composite material means all of the air goes across the coil.
Yeah.
There's no, is air going somewhere it shouldn't be? You have the fan, and then you've got that shroud that puts it together. I particularly like that it's a digital scroll. That's certainly nice. It allows it to give a really deep turn down ratio on this piece of equipment. So that when we got those small micro loads, what's unique about this unit is there's no buffer tank here because this is one of the few air-to-water heat pumps that doesn't need a buffer tank.
Right. In most applications, it should be able to work without a buffer tank. And yeah, it does have a high turn-down ratio, very high, because of the digital scroll compressor.
I think it's important to know the buffer tank, just because in my own home I have an air-to-water installed. It's not this one, it's actually the IBC air-to-water. So I have a 5-ton installed in my house. And I love that unit, and I like the fact that it doesn't have this indoor unit. But as I've been piping it, and I repiped it this week, I'm piping it differently now because I want to run it a million different ways. My unit can also run with and without a buffer tank. But one of the realizations I had this week is that if I was a contractor, having an indoor unit is a great solution. Because the reality is to pipe this, water line connections from the outside of the house, water line connections to the indoor unit, and then you just have to hook up your heating loads and your domestic hot water piping on this unit, and you're done.
Right, you can see the 2 pipes here that go to the outdoor unit, 2 pipes here for the hydronic space heating supply and return, and then over on the other side is the domestic water. So what Enertech has done is they've pre-engineered and pre-assembled what you're assembling on your own system in the field. So you're saving time, and you're eliminating potential errors by having it all pre-configured like this.
What's nice about this is obviously you and I can pipe an air to water. We know how to control the heating, the cooling, the hydronic. But if you're a contractor on a job site, you need to get in and off that job very quickly. This has that logic built into it. So it has the ability to do a reset heating curve. It has the ability to do a domestic hot water heating call. It can do a cooling call. And what I particularly like about this is the fact that they built this indoor unit so that we don't ever have to worry about that sandwich effect. And what I mean by that is if the unit was ever in cooling and had a domestic hot water call, there is no way that this unit will dump chilled water into the tank. Because they have these valves in here. So these valves end up closing off. So if you were in, let's say, cooling, as soon as it sees that heating call, these 2 valves close off. It's now circulating water between the outdoor unit and the indoor unit to make sure it's conditioned to the temperature you want, and then it goes where it needs to go.
Yep. So you don't get that surge of warm air when you come back out of domestic water, go back into cooling. I mean, they have done it here. To do that in the field, it's possible to do that, but again, it adds complication, it adds more controls, more time in the job. So, yeah, it's got a nice 9 kW electric space heating backup all built into it, so you don't need a separate electric boiler. Purging valves, expansion tank, And they've got some really nice controls, Wi-Fi enabled controls on this as well. So a service tech can watch how this system is working actually anywhere in the world through the internet.
Yeah. There's also a lot of controls that are built into this unit. It has a lot of logic. It's got temperatures and flow. Like this unit knows what it's doing.
Yes.
And that's a good thing because we've talked about this. I have a training module I do called heat pumps are not boilers. It's a little bit of a scare tactic move on my part because I want people to understand how easily you can kill that unit if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't use something like this. A lot of manufacturers will not sell you equipment if you're not trained on it. So for example, I know that IBC will not sell you their air to water if you don't get trained on it. And in Enertech's case, it's the same. They are pushing, and obviously so is Eden Energy, that if you're gonna buy this from me and you don't install it properly, it potentially will fail. And it's not 10% odds. It could be 60% odds this thing could fail, and we don't want the responsibility.
Right, well, they've got their own online training program specific to this product, which
Yeah.
I believe they require as a prerequisite to sell it. Yeah, you were talking about flow. There's actually a flow measuring sensor right here, and this is a variable speed pump. So the pump ramps up and down based on what the capacity of the machine is. So variable speed on the outside, variable speed pumping on the inside. It really is state-of-the-art product, state-of-the-art assembly of components as far as, you know, minimizing the parasitic power, streamlining the installation. It's nice product.
The other thing I really like about these is this manufacturer is very interested in detail, right? So you've had lengthy conversations with their engineering team. I've had lengthy conversations with their engineering team. They're very unique in that they want the feedback that we've built this, we love it, and so do you and I, but what would you do differently in the next version?
Sure.
And I think that's really helpful for them as they try to develop this product.
It is. It's good company. I've enjoyed working with them. They are very receptive to input on this. And as that air to water market grows, this is likely to see successive generations of development, different configurations. So, yeah, I'm impressed with the product.
Yeah, available in a 3-ton and a 5-ton. So I certainly, I think there's a great application for the unit, and you nailed it. Although it works really good at those really cold temperatures, it has integrated backup, so you don't have to worry about how am I going to make sure I'm heating the house to that 1 week of the year where I'm beyond the capacity.
Yeah.
And I like that the control lets us say when we want to use it.
Right.
Do we want it with the domestic? Do we not want it with domestic? Do we want it as reset heating? We have all those options.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. A lot of flexibility in how that control is set up.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sorry.
I think we nailed it.